Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you're doing well. My name is Alexandra, and welcome to a special episode of your Royal Daily News. In Madrid, Her Royal Highness, Princess Leonor of Asturias, celebrated her 18th birthday. And on the occasion of her special day, the heir to the crown of Spain took the Juramento de la Constitución Española before the Cortes Generales. According to Article 61, Section 2 of the Constitución Española, passed by the Cortes Generales in plenary meetings of the Congreso de los Diputados and the El Senado on October 31, 1978, then ratified by the Spanish people in the referendum of December 6, 1978, and sanctioned by His Majesty the King before the Cortes on December 27, 1978, states, quote, "The Crown Prince, upon reaching the age of maturity, and the regent or regents upon assuming office, shall take the same oath, as well as that of loyalty to the King." End quote. When Princess Leonor ascends to the throne, she will be the first queen to reign in her own right, sura jure, since Isabel II of Spain in 1843. The historic day began on the Plaza de las Cortes, where Their Majesties King Felipe VI and Queen Letizia of Spain, Her Royal Highness Princess Leonor of Asturias, and Infanta Sofia of Spain, were welcomed by the Prime Minister of Spain, Mr. Pedro Sanchez, and the Chief of the Defense Staff, Mr. Teodoro Esteban Lopez. After receiving military honors and a review of the Honors Battalion by His Majesty the King, the royal family arrived at the Congreso de los Diputados de España, where they were warmly welcomed by the President of the Congreso de los Diputados, Ms. Francina Armengol, and the President of El Senado, Mr. Pedro Royan. Once inside the building, the royal family was welcomed by the President of the Constitutional Court, Mr. Candido Conde Pompido, and the President of the General Council of the Judiciary, Mr. Rafael Mozo. At 11 a.m., the royal family arrived in the chamber where the solemn ceremony began with the national anthem. Moments later, the President of the Congreso de los Diputados, Ms. Francina Armengol, gave a speech which, according to the Spanish Royal Court, included the reference to the agreement adopted by the Council of Ministers on October 10, 2023, requesting the, quote, holding of the joint session of the chambers for the taking of the oath referred to in Article 61, Section 2, end quote. After her speech, Ms. Armengol requested the deputies and senators to stand. Then, she requested for the princess to come forward to take the jura, also known as the oath. The tall, beautiful, confident young princess stood up, approached the table, and said, quote, "I swear to faithfully perform my duties, to keep the Constitution and the laws and respect of the rights of citizens and the autonomous communities, and loyalty to the King," end quote. Thereafter, Ms. Armengol said, quote, "The Cortes Generales have just received the oath that Your Highness has taken in compliance with the Constitution as heir to the crown. Ladies and gentlemen, viva la Constitución, viva el Rey, viva España," end quote. The solemn ceremony concluded with the singing of the national anthem and the closing of the session of the Cortes Generales. Prior to leaving, the princess received medals from the Congress, the Senate, and the Medalla de Oro from the Comunidad de Madrid. The princess, along with Their Majesties, also signed the Book of Honor inside the Salón de Ministros. Thereafter, the princess, Their Majesties, and Infanta Sofia of Spain, along with the Prime Minister of Spain, Mr. Pedro Sanchez, and high-ranking military officials, each representing the branches of the Spanish Armed Forces, returned to Palacio Real de Madrid. In the afternoon, during a special ceremony in the Salón de Carlos III, His Majesty the King presented the princess with the Collar de la Real y Distinguida Orden Española de Carlos III. Established by King Carlos III by royal decree on September 19, 1771, with the motto Virtuti et Merito, the order is the highest of the Spanish civil orders and is amongst the oldest in the world. The order is presented to individuals who, with their effort, initiative, and work, have brought a distinguished and extraordinary service to the nation and the crown. The order consists of the following degrees: Collar, Grand Cross, Commendation of Number, Commendation, and Cross. His Majesty the King is the Grand Master of the order. The collar consists of 41 gold links with a gold figure of King Carlos III, fringed with palm and gold laurel enameled in green and red, followed on both sides by 2 rampant gold lions turned towards the figure of King Carlos III, each followed by a castle also made of gold, followed by a war trophy composed of a gold knight's helmet and 2 cross flags, the setting in a gold band enameled in red, accompanied by a course of gold and a setting in a bar enameled in blue, accompanied by a sheaf of gold lictor, all bordered by laurel leaves enameled in green. The Collier de Carlos III is reserved for members of the royal family of Spain, heads of state and government, and Spanish citizens who have held the Grand Cross for more than 3 years. Foreign monarchs who were presented with the collar and the order include His Majesty King Carl Gustaf of Sweden, His Majesty King Harold V of Norway, His Majesty King Mohammed VI of Morocco, His Majesty King Abdullah II of Jordan, and His Royal Highness Grand Duke Henri of Luxembourg. After receiving the Collar de la Real y Distinguida Orden Española de Carlos III, the princess gave a speech, stating, quote, "On turning 18 today and reaching the age of majority, I have taken the oath provided for in our Constitution. I have sworn to faithfully carry out my duties, to keep and ensure that the Constitution and the laws are kept, to respect the rights of citizens and the autonomous communities, as well as fidelity to the King. From today, I owe myself to all Spaniards, whom I will serve at all times, with respect and loyalty. There is no greater pride. On this very important day, which I will always remember with emotion, I ask you to trust me, as I have put all my trust in our future, in the future of Spain. I have solemnly, formally, and publicly committed myself to our democratic principles and our constitutional values, which I fully assume. And I have assumed a great responsibility toward Spain before the Cortes Generales, which I hope to reciprocate with the greatest dignity and with the best example. I have also sworn an oath of fidelity to the King, not only as a person, but also what the crown symbolizes and represents, the unity and permanence of Spain. I remember very well what my father the King told me when he awarded me the Golden Fleece. He said, 'You will be permanently guided by the Constitution, complying with it and observing it. You will serve Spain with humility and are aware of your institutional position. These are the words that I will keep in mind at all times.'" End quote. After the ceremony, Their Majesties hosted a luncheon at the Palacio. Guests included members of the Spanish government, presidents of the autonomous communities, constitutional bodies, representatives of the Spanish Armed Forces, members of the European Commission, the Spanish Olympic Committee, state security forces and corps, Knights of the Golden Fleece, royal academies, city councils, religious and youth organizations, to name a few. The historic day ended with a private birthday party for Princess Leonor at the Palacio Real de El Pardo. And with that, happy birthday, Princess Leonor. I hope you had a wonderful, wonderful day. And there you have it. Thank you all so much for joining me this afternoon. I will be back tomorrow on Wednesday, November 1st, with all the latest royal news. Until then, I wish you all a wonderful afternoon and a great day tomorrow. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you won't miss a thing. Okay, again, have a wonderful afternoon, everyone, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye-bye.